Bob, thanks for coming over for dinner, man.
No problem.
Thanks for coming over. You know what? If you want to prepare the rice and everything, I'm gonna prepare the meat, and yeah, we'll get started, man.
Okay. Where we going with that?
Look at this meat. This is nice meat. I'm telling you.
$14. It better be some good meat.
Damn right. Ooh, okay. Let's prepare this sucker, shall we?
At least the rice-a-roni's coming out pretty good.
Yeah, well, see about that.
What are you doing? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? You got a crazy look in your eye. Stop it. Don't make me hurt you. I will. Calm down. Snap out of it. Snap out of it. I don't want to hurt you.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. Something overwhelmed me. Yeah.
Well, you just ate some raw meat looking like it was a payday.
You know, I'm sorry. You know, we'll just continue with dinner. Yeah, it's gonna be all right.
Okay. Hope you might want to get some rest because you look exhausted. You know, I can see in your eyes.
Maybe I need some sleep. Maybe that's why. I don't know.
I mean, you gotta be feeling weird after eating some raw meat.
Yeah, I mean, it was actually kind of good, but.
Okay, I think I'm just gonna head on home and maybe we'll hang out some other time.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I think it's better that I head on home because you might want to get some rest. You're creeping me out a little bit.
Bob, we can still have the dinner. Everything will be fine. I promise. It'll be all good.
No, it's alright, man. I mean, I think you need to take a little you time right now, and I think I'm just gonna head on home. See you later. I'll call you, man. See you later.
All right. Bye. I don't know what was the problem. I mean, I just really love meat. That was a real shame about Bob. I really wanted to have him for dinner. I mean, have him over for dinner. That's what I meant to say. And you know, this hunger for meat and everything like that, it kind of reminds me of a movie I wanted to talk to you guys about, Netflix Nights, number 24, where I'll be talking about Raw. But before I do, let's see what the good folks over at Netflix have for a synopsis for us today, shall we? Forced to eat raw meat during a hazing ritual at her veterinary school, a young vegetarian develops an overpowering hunger for flesh in all its forms. Rated R and from 2016. And, you know, the idea that this is on Netflix streaming right now. So if you wanted, you can go right now and check it out. I do want to forewarn you guys that it is a French film and the idea that it is subtitles. So if you are comfortable with subtitles, then it's there. If you're not and you think it takes away from actually watching the movie on the screen itself, then this is not the movie for you. I don't mind it. I've watched enough movies with subtitles that it's okay by me, but for some, it's not. And but I definitely give it a try if you're up for it. And really, the place to start with this movie is really the idea of the plot, the idea of this young girl who I believe her name is Justine, who is going to veterinary school and just very kind of naive a little bit. And she's a hardcore vegetarian. Her mother and father, I believe, are vegetarians as well. Well, I believe her mother definitely is. The father, I'm not so sure about. And the idea that, she goes to this place to, learn how to become a veterinarian. And just the whole idea of basically doing this and going to the school, and the school is brutal at first. And I mean brutal. I mean, you literally have these girls and guys who basically are older students, second year, third year students, who are basically like hazing these kids big time. Whether it's demeaning them in public, making them wear, outlandish clothing, forcing them to drink and party like crazy, trashing their dorm rooms. I mean, it's just one thing after another. And you feel sorry for Justine, you feel sorry for these kids because none of them really deserve it. I mean, it's crazy, it's ridiculous. And, honestly, the character of Justine I really did like. I thought she was likable. I thought that she, was way in over her head with the school thing, but she was really trying hard. And the idea to be forced into eating something that you don't want to eat because of some sort of like hazing ritual that every student has to do, she tries to get out of it. She tries to get out of it, and basically they say no, you got to do this, and they force her, and you know what? Payback's a bitch. It is. Let's be honest. And she starts to gain that hunger for raw meat and that hunger for flesh, and she starts to like get rashes on her body. She starts to have these wicked nightmares. Waking up at night in these cold sweats and going to find, some sort of meat or something raw to eat, puking, etc., etc. She goes through the gamut, and you feel for her, you really do. You also have her sister in this movie. Her sister's named Alexis. And in the beginning of the movie, she's not very likable. You don't really like her sister. You're kind of like, oh man, this chick is just really like, oh man, how much more do we have to endure this woman? But then you sort of realize why she is the way she is, and maybe she's trying to protect her sister a little bit. And I do like the rapport between the two sisters. I think it's actually a good rapport. I think they're actually strong actors, and you can actually, feel the connection between them, which I liked. Also, Justine's sort of veterinary school roommate, the character's name is Adrian, and he's actually gay. And through the course of the movie, she sort of has feelings for him, and things kind of develop a little bit. I won't really spoil too much about it. But he was a character an interesting character as well. You definitely kind of connected with him a little bit too, and you didn't really get to know him a lot as far as character, except for the fact that he liked to party and he was gay. That's about it. But I mean, he was likable enough. You could tell that he cared about Justine as a friend, and I think all the actors do a really good job with the movie. Like I said, no one's playing it campy. This is not the movie to play campy. And I thought they did a really good job with, you know, making it feel real, making these characters feel vulnerable, making them feel dangerous at times. I definitely felt every emotion they wanted me to feel in the movie. And I thought the blood and the gore in the movie was actually really cool. There's moments in here where, look, I've seen so many horror movies. I've seen it all, man. And nothing really kind of gets to me too much anymore. But there's moments where they linger on things when she's eating certain body parts. I won't really say much more than that, but they linger on it. They just linger on her like eating it and just like sucking on it or something. And you're like, ooh, God, that is nasty. And you're like, man, they weren't holding back. And the interesting thing about this movie is that you could say, oh, this is gruesome and everything because it's a guy directing it. No, this is a woman. A woman not only directed it, but she also, helped write the screenplay. So, when I look at that, I say, females can, get into it just as much as guys can. Don't discount the females because they can get into the nasty stuff just as much as anybody else can. And but what's great about it is that, she actually does a lot with the story with the character of Justine. The idea of her sort of growing into a woman, developing, the relationship with her sister, everything like that. You definitely felt that in the hands of a female director, that she definitely pointed the movie in an interesting direction that I think are really going to enjoy. I think if it was a guy directing, I think you still may get that, but I don't think it would be as strong as a female directing it. I think she got all the undertones of, you know, the female empowerment, the growing pains of becoming a woman, all this stuff. I mean, you get it in the movie. The director does a great job handling the material. And, this movie, I heard, like, in certain theaters, people passed out, people went and puked. They had, like, specific barf bags made for this movie specifically. And, you know what? I guess I kind of see it. I kind of see that they would have to, really do that, and people would kind of walk away feeling kind of sick and need to throw up or something. But like I said, I've been through the gamut of watching so many horror movies. I don't think I ever wanted to puke or I ever felt the need to sort of be too grossed out with it. I liked what the movie was giving me. I thought the movie was interesting. And, I think the one thing I will take away from the movie, though, is that, it is slow going. It's slow moving. It's not one of those, like, fast paced movies. It's not that. And so you have to go into it expecting that this movie's not going to be, like lightning rod fast and you're going to just speed through this movie. It's a slow burn. So just make sure you know that as well. And I really just want to say I like the ending as well. The ending was really sort of, I didn't see it coming. I thought it was a little bit funny and a little bit disturbing. I was like, "Oh, I won't spoil it for you guys, but I thought it was very fascinating. I did like the ending a lot." And I think the movie overall is pretty cool. It's definitely probably a really great foreign horror movie. Do I see them remaking this movie in the future here in the States? I do. I do see them doing it. I don't think it needs it, but you know, America, we're gonna remake every damn thing, so it's bound to happen regardless. But I do recommend it to you guys. Just go in knowing about the subtitles, know going in that it's a slow burn. But I think if you're okay with those things, I think you'll find enjoyment out of it. I think you'll like it. I think it's one of the better horror movies to come down the pike, in the last few years. So I definitely think it's worth a watch. But that'll do it for Netflix Nights number 24 for Raw. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, definitely give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. I hope you have enjoyed the video, and I hope you've enjoyed the content I've been doing. And if you have, definitely hit subscribe and you will get more of it. Also, I am on Twitter and Facebook, FilmFan108, so check me out there as well. Alright guys, I'm gonna try to, make my meal without Bob. Still, it's a shame he couldn't have stayed. He would have tasted really well. I mean, we would have had a tasty meal. That's what I meant. Alright guys, take care.